and negative exponents. Now, we said before, all of you know that if I say 2, I'm sorry, 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. If I add it 2 4 times, it's mean 2 multiplied by 4. Is it right? Yes. What if I multiply 2 4 times? It's gonna be 2 to the power 4. Exactly. So if I add it 2 4 times, it will be multiplied, and if I multiply 2 4 times, it will be 2 to the power 4. So if I say 2 to the power 4, it means that this one we called it a base, and this 4 we called it a power or exponent. Okay? Now, how can we find 2 to the power 3 as an example? Exactly. 2 times 2 is what? 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So 2 to the power 3 is what? Is 8. 2 to the power 4 is what? No, 2 to the power 4. 16. And 2 to the power 3 is 8. What about 2 to the power 2? It is 2 times 2, which is what? Which is 4. What about 2 to the power 1? 2. Now, as you see here, yes? What? No, I didn't multiply 2 with 3. I multiplied 2 with how many 3 here? We multiplied 3 times. Now, look here. 16 divided by 2 is what? Please, girls. Some girls here, she make a disturbance. Now, look here. 16, then it is 8, then it is 4, then it is 2. So 16 divided by 8 is what? Divided by 2, sorry. 8. 8 divided by 2. 4. 4 divided by 2. 2. And 2 divided by 2. 1. And 1 divided by 2. Half. And half divided by 2 is 1 over 4. Okay? So, now, until grade 7, may you talk about 2 to the power 1. You talked about number to the positive, with a positive power. Today now, we will discuss how can we find the 0 exponents and how can we find the negative exponents. How can we find 3 to the power 0 or 3 to the power negative 3? Today we will discuss how can we find these exponents. Now, what? So because of my sounds, can you please all of you turn off the microphone? But if I ask anyone to answer, you have to turn it. No. And also, you know that if I have positive number, like 3 as an example, if this 3 is raised to a power positive, or this 3 is sorry, if it has a power to any power, I'm sorry, okay, if it's 3 here is positive and it has any power like 2 or 1 or 3 to the power 4, any number, 3 to the power 2 is what? Is 3 times 3, which is 9. 3 to the power 1 is 3. So if you have a positive number with any power, okay, the answer is positive. Okay? Okay, I will repeat. If you have a positive number like this, like number 2, like number 3, like number 5, if any positive number has any power, like 2 to the power 1 is what? Is 2. 3 to the power 2, it's me 3 multiplied by 3, which is 9. 5 cubed, it's me 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. So what is the sign of 2? It is positive. And the answer here is positive. Here is a 3. It is a positive number. So any positive number to any power, the answer, it will be positive. Okay? What? No, I'm talking here about positive number only. If I have, look here, if I have a positive number, any positive number, like a 3, is it a positive number? So this positive number, if the base to any power, if the power is positive, if the power is negative, if any power, if the base is positive, so the answer is be positive. If the base is positive, the answer every time is positive. But if the base is negative, like negative 2, as an example, okay? If negative 2, if the power here is even number, like negative 2 to the power 2, and if here it is odd, like negative 2 to the power 3, okay? Now, if the negative number has an even power, the answer must be positive. Let's see how. Negative 2 squared, what does it mean? It's mean negative 2 multiplied by negative 2. Then negative multiplied by negative is what? Positive. And 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. So this one is what? 4. So if we have negative 2 to the power and the power is even, the answer must be positive. But if we have now a negative number, but the power here is odd, not even. Like negative 2 to the power 3. It will be negative 2 multiply by negative 2 multiply by negative 2. Negative 2 multiplied by negative 2, as I said before, it is what? It is 4. Multiplied by negative 2, positive, multiplied by negative is what? Negative. And 4 multiplied by 2 is what? 8. So, if we have negative 2 to the power 2, I mean here the base is negative and the power is even, the answer is what? Is positive 4. The answer, it will be positive. But if we have negative number, but the base here is odd, the answer must be negative. The rule here, this one is gonna be a warm up, and you have to know it from grade 7. If you have positive number to any base, the answer is always positive. But the problem here, if I am talking about negative number, if I have negative number to the power even, the answer is positive. And if I have negative number, but the power here is odd, the answer is going to be negative. Did you understand now? All of you? Or I have to repeat? Okay. Okay, I will repeat. Here, if you have a positive number, like number positive 3, if you have negative 3, and if you have also negative 3. For the positive 3, if I choose now 2, 2, 3. Okay? Now here, the rule is, if we have positive number to any rule, the answer is positive without finding it. But if I have negative number now, not dealing with positive, I'm talking about negative number now. I want to check the power. If the power is odd, is even, sorry, the answer must be what? Positive. But if the power is odd, the answer is negative. Look here now, 3 squared is 9. Negative 3 multiplied by negative 3 is also 9. And negative 3 cubed, it's mean negative 3 multiplied by negative 3 multiplied by negative 3, which is negative 27. So, this one, positive to the power to any number is positive, but negative, if it is negative, I want to check. I want to check what? The exponents. If the exponents is odd, the answer is negative. And if the exponents is even, the answer is positive. Now let's gonna start our lesson. Here, so we say that if we have 2 to the power 2, how we deal with it? 2 to the power 1, how we deal with it? Now, what about 0 as an exponent? If I have now 2 to the power 0, here there's a rule that says any number to the power 0, the answer is 1. Any number, if it's gonna be a negative number, like negative 4, or decimal, or factor 1/3, or negative 4.2, or 7.35 as an example, or 1,325,000. All of them, if you put it to the power 0, the answer is what? The answer is 1. Okay? So the first rule here today, that any number to the power 0, the answer is 1. Now, what about the negative exponents? For the negative exponent, if you have all of you, please look at me here. If you have a to the power negative n, okay, what you have to do? Look at what is the reciprocal of a. It is 1 over a. What is, so here I have to write its reciprocal. Now, what is the opposite of negative n? Positive one, exactly. So, thank you. Thank you. So, if I have a to the power negative n, I will rewrite it as, what is the reciprocal of a is 1 over a, and what is the opposite of negative n is positive n. This is the rule. As an example, if you have 7 to the power negative 3, how can I find it? I say, what is this? What is the reciprocal of 7? 1 over 7. Thank you. What is the negative, the opposite of negative 3? Positive 3. So it will be 1 over 7 times 7 times 7, which is 343. Gonna be to talk about this one now. Yes. You have to multiply 7 times 7, which is 49. Then you multiply it with 7. Now, if you have now this one, negative 5 to the power negative 2. Now, what is the reciprocal of negative 5? 1 over negative 5. What is the opposite of negative 2? Positive 2. Thank you. Now here, as I said before about the zero exponents, I told you that any number raised to the power 0, the answer is what? Is 1. 8 to the power 0 is what? 1. Negative 67 to the power 0 is what? 1. Square root of 2 to the power 0 is 1 also. 0.36 to the power 0 is what? 1. Negative 1 over 3 to the power 0 is what? 1. But 0 to the power 0 is undefined. So, any non-zero number, yeah, I mean all the numbers, if it is positive, it is negative, it is real, it is discrete, if it is decimal, any number to the power 0, the answer is 1 except 0, because 0 to the power 0 is undefined number. Deal? Okay. So here as an example, 7 to the power 0 is what? 1. Negative 71 to the power 0 is what? 1. 1321 to the power 0 is what? 1. 0 to the power 0. Thank you. Now, problem number 1, page 419. What is the simplified form of each expression? 9 to the power negative 2. How can I rewrite it? Look here. What is this? Here it is. What is the reciprocal of 9? Thank you. What is the opposite of negative 2? Positive 2. Thank you. So 1 over 9 times 9, which is 1 over 81. Thank you. Now what about B now? Negative 3.6 to the power 0. The answer is what? 1. Thank you. Now, what is the simplified form of each expression? For, I want now to do number, yes. It is negative 3 to the power 0, 3.6 to the power 0. The answer is what? 1, exactly. Okay, now. Here now, I want to solve A and E. I want to check now 4 to the power negative 3 is what? The first step, what is that? Thank you. It is 1 over 4. And what is the opposite of it? Exactly. So it is, thank you. 16 times 4, it is 64. Now, if you have, I want to talk about E now. Negative 4 to the power negative 2. And if you have, it's like this. Okay? Here, if you look at them, they have a big difference between them. Why? Because here, if I told you negative 4 between two brackets, it's mean here the base here is what? Is negative 4. Okay? So, if I want now to write its reciprocal, it will be 1 over what? Over negative 4. Okay? Because if I told you negative 4, so its reciprocal would be 1 over negative 4. And what is the opposite of negative 2? Exactly. So it will be 1 over negative 2, negative 4, sorry, squared. It will be what? Negative 4 times negative 4. Positive. Remember what I told you before. If you have a negative number to an even power, the answer it will be what? Positive. Now look at another one here. Negative 4 to the power negative 2. They didn't put a brackets for me. So what does it mean? Does it mean that the only 4 is the base? Okay, so here it will be like this. I keep the negative. I keep the negative now. Then what is the reciprocal of 4? 1 over 4. And what is the opposite of? Exactly. So it will be negative 1 over 16. This is now the difference between them. The first one is 1 over 16, and the second one is negative 1 over 16. Like here, it's gonna be, no, it will be 1 over 6 to the power, later on I will do it. Okay, I will do, I will do D here, okay? 6 to the power negative 1. What is the reciprocal of 6? 1 over 6. And what is the opposite of negative 1? 1. So it will be 1 over 6. Okay. Now, here now, we have this one. We have to simplify each expression. I will do number. Can I have a time? See, wait a minute, please. Okay. Now, number 15 is easy. Any number to the power 0 is what? 1. Exactly. And now going to number 16. Negative 12 to the power negative 1. Okay. Now, what is the base here? No, I will ask myself, did he put up brackets for me? No. So the base here is only 12. So negative is outside. Then what is the opposite of a 12? So what is the reciprocal? 1 over 12. Thank you. And what is the opposite of negative 1? Positive 1. So the answer is negative 1 over 12. Thank you. Number 17 now. 1 over 2 to the power 0. Now, 2 to the power 0 is what? 1. Thank you. So the answer is 1 over 1, which is mean 1. Let's do number 18. 58 to the power negative 1. What is the base here? What is the reciprocal of 58? 58, thank you. What is the opposite of negative 1? 1. So the answer is 1 over 58. Yes. What about now number 19? Now number 19. 1.5 to the power negative 2. Now 1.5, what is the reciprocal of it? 1.5. And what is the opposite of negative 2? 2. Thank you. Now, after that, 1.5. If I want to write it as a factor, it will be what? Is it 3 over 2? Is it right? 1.5. Is it as the same as 3 over 2? Okay. Now, but here we have squared. I will write it here as squared. Girls, please. No, why negative? This is negative. It's gonna down. It will be positive. Then 1 over. Now look here. Here this squared. Did you take before that it likes to be it's still distributed? Did you take it before? Yes or no? Okay, fine. One 1.5. 1.5. It's like what? It is 1.5. Is it right? Okay, how can you write this improper fraction to be as a proper fraction, or to be as a mix, this mixed to be as a fraction? 2 multiplied by 1, 2 multiplied by 1 plus, exactly, 2 multiplied by 1 plus 1, 3. So it will be 3 over 2. Now, 3 over 2 to the power 2, this 2 will be distributed here and here. Okay? Now, 3 squared is what? 3 multiplied by 3 is what? 9, exactly. And 2 squared, 4. Thank you. Now, as you take also in grade 6, if you have 1 divide by A over B, it is what? Girls, look here. 1 divide by 9 over 4. How can you solve it? I'm talk about 1 over, we say that it's like this, and the answer is 1 over 9 over 4. Did you remember? Girls, can you please turn off the microphone? بنات في كتير إزعاج. Now, look here. 1 over 9 over 4. Did you remember in grade 6 or grade 5? How can we divide a number into fraction? Did you remember what did we do? We keep the first number as 1, and we change the division to, it will be what? Multiply. Yes. And then I will write what here? Exactly. Thank you. The reciprocal of 9 over 4, which is what? 4 over 9. So 1 over 9 to 4 is what? 4 over 9. So the answer here of 1 over 1.5 squared, the answer here is what? Is 4 over 9. Thank you. Now let's do number 20. Negative 5 to the power negative 3. What is the base here? Negative 5. Thank you. So the reciprocal is what? 1 over negative 5. What is the opposite of negative 3? Positive 3. Thank you. Then it is 1 over negative 5 multiplied by negative 5 multiplied by negative 5. Negative 5 multiplied by negative 5 is what? Okay. And positive or negative? Why positive? Negative. I told you. Yes. Did you remember why? Because I told you if you have a negative, if the base is negative and the power is odd number, so the answer is gonna be what? Negative. Thank you. Now, what is, this is the problem number 2, simplifying exponential expression. What is the simplified form of each expression? Look at here. 5a cubed b to the power negative 2. It is 5 multiplied by a cubed multiplied by b to the power -2. Is it right? Yes, because also you know that if you write like this one, it will be x multiplied by y multiplied by z. And here we have the same. It is 5 multiplied by a cubed multiplied by b to the power -2. I want now to simplify this expression. It will be 5. It is the most simplified one. A cubed, keep it as a cubed because it is already simplified. But b to the power -2, can I rewrite it more simplified? Yes, using what? Using the exponent, the negative exponents. What is the reciprocal of b? 1 over b. And what is the opposite? What is the opposite of -2? +2. Thank you. Then look here, look down. 5 multiplied by a cubed multiplied by a. How can I rewrite it? As 5 a cubed. Excellent. Over what? B squared. Is it clear? So this is one. Okay. Here we have 5 a cubed times b to the power -2. I can expand it to be as 5 multiplied by a cubed multiplied by b to the power -2. I want now, after I expand it, I want now to simplify it. 5, it is the most simplified one, so keep it as 5. A cubed is the most simplest one also. Keep it as a cubed. And b to the power -2, as I said before, it is 1 over b. And what is the opposite of -2? +2. Thank you. Now, after that, look at, did you know that here, if we have a numerator over denominator, so this one, which is up, we call it as what? As a numerator. So 5 multiplied by a cubed is what? 5 a cubed. Look at down here. What did we have in the denominator? B squared. So it's going to be right like 5 a cubed over b squared. Now look at b here. I will solve b, then we're going to have a break. Then after a break, we will continue the second period of math. Now 1 over x to the power -5. Every time you saw a negative exponent, okay, you have to go and deal with the rule. What is the opposite of the reciprocal of 1 over x? No. 1 over x. What is the reciprocal of it? X. Stop. I told you 1 over x to the power -5. What is the reciprocal of 1 over x? It will be x only. Girls, stop. What is the reciprocal of 1 over x? It is what? It is x. And what is the opposite of -5? +5. So this is going to be what now? The simplified form. Okay? Yeah, now you have a break. After a break, at 10:30, we'll continue the second period. Yeah. You are welcome. You are welcome.